I come from Telangana and I represent the Bharat Rashtra Samiti, which has led a movement for 14 years for the formation of Telangana under the leadership of our leader, Shri K. Chandrasekhar Rao. When Mr. Vijayan spoke about tyranny of majority, sir, we understand what exactly it means to come out of a larger setup and create a small state. We fought against Delhi, and we fought against the forces for about 14 years to achieve our dream. A long fraught battle it was. We of course draw a lot of inspiration from the people of Tamil Nadu on how to preserve our identity and fight for our rights in a federal setup, because the whole Dravidian movement is a beacon of light for all of us across the country in terms of fighting for our rights and fighting for our spirit. We of course also are aware that the 5 South Indian states are at the receiving end, as was enunciated by Shri Vijayanji, Shri Revanth Reddy ji, and also eloquently by D.K. Shivkumar ji, of the union government's policies. Despite demonstrating robust growth across sectors, these states have been victims of apathy and discrimination. Let me remind all of us, we live in the world's largest democracy, India. But democracy should not become a mobocracy. We cannot let numbers dictate terms. We cannot let numbers dictate policies. While any true federal government would incentivize high-performing states, we have a dispensation today in India that rewards laggards and penalizes achievers. South Indian states, we all know, have been pioneers in administration, in education, in economic production, yet we are penalized with reduced political power. This is not just an imbalance, but it is a political and fiscal centralization that is looming large. History will not forgive us if we do not speak up, because this is the time I think we have to unite. We have to fight against this fundamental inequity. We also need to remember those who have contributed significantly cannot be penalized, cannot be discriminated against. Despite contributing to 36% of India's GDP from the 5 southern states, we are receiving smaller share of central resources, which is also raising a huge concern on fiscal centralization. Delimitation will also create a situation where fiscal resources will also be centralized, much to the chagrin, much to the detriment of South Indian states. If we allow this to continue, I fear that as South Indian leaders, we will be doing a great disservice to our future generations. So history will not forgive us, let me repeat, if we do not speak up now. Discrimination against the South is not a new phenomenon. However, it has reached an alarming proportions in the last 1 decade. From forcible imposition of Hindi to projects like bullet trains only being confined to the northern part of India, union government's initiatives are clearly discriminating against the southern states. To make matters worse, the BJP-led union government is now attempting to implement delimitation on basis of population, adding insult to injury. I'd like to begin by quoting a renowned jurist who once famously said, "A true federation does not allow any region to dominate another, nor does it permit the dilution of democratic representation based on transient factors." So if Lok Sabha seats are increased on population basis, it could prove detrimental not just to South India but also to our friends from Punjab. If not approached cautiously, if not approached with utmost caution, this could impact India's federal balance and heighten regional disparities. We all are Indians first, and then I think we have sub-regional identities, and we cannot have that be challenged. India is not a collection of administrative units. It is a pluralistic, ethno-linguistic union of states, where unlike any homogeneous composition like China or Russia, we certainly are not against money being given to lagging states or backward regions. But the fact is, we are not against money of central government going to some states, but we are against hegemony. We are against this superior feeling that one region is above another. As we are all aware, as was mentioned by all the leaders here, the freeze on seat allocation happened in 1971 after the census. Then the South India effectively started controlling population. Of course, we all know the story. Now today, we are about 24%, as was pointed out by Telangana CM. But North, the percentage of population has increased, and my brother gave a very nice presentation on what will happen if we go on with a population basis. The only point I would like to make here, if seats are redistributed purely on pro rata population basis, states that have failed to control population will be rewarded, as was put eloquently by Vijayan sir. This is a perverse reward for somebody who has not performed and for somebody who has diligently followed the guidelines of Government of India. Punishing us with reduced representation is certainly discriminatory. India's democracy must be built on progress, governance and economic contribution, not just population. A fair system should reward progress and encourage development in lagging regions. If India has to become a superpower by 2047, 100 years after we achieved independence, we must empower those driving the growth, not silence them. We must empower those who have done well over the last 7 decades and not punish them.